up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, I have a lot of interesting things to share with you guys. We're going to start off over here with the poll question that we posted 3 weeks ago. Have you been noticing anything weird lately? We're going to come back and take a look at the results of the poll, and we're going to look at some of the responses that people left. Here's a couple of quick responses. Quebec R. Jean commented that they could send and receive CB radio signals during huge coronal mass ejections during solar storms, and that has to do with the ionosphere. It's called skip reflection. Nikola Tesla understood this and how you could send energy through the ionosphere. So that is a very real phenomena. Thank you, Argene. Really appreciate that. And here's another comment that was sent in by Kieran Smythe 2031. Says Mr. B333 is a fraud like suspicious observers said he was. Wow, that's an interesting comment. This comment was posted on a video that I was talking about a rare land-based hurricane. From the looks of this person's spelling, I would think it's safe to say they probably don't even know what planet they're on. We're going to come back and take a look at more comments here in just a moment and the results of the poll. But first, over here at the homepage of the website, another very cool, intense halo in the sky around the sun, sent in by Greg out of Eugene, Oregon. Looking at the GOES X-ray flux, no major solar flares in the last 72 hours. Looking at the Earth-facing side of the sun, you would think there would be, but the reason there's not is because in these large active regions, the sunspots are far enough apart to where they're not touching. That's what creates the solar flare that launches CMEs off the surface of the sun. Let's say this one here on the right was negative and this one over here was positive. Well, they'd have to touch completely before you would have a solar flare. You can see how much distance is between most of those dark cores. So more than likely, we won't see any large activity, at least here in the next 24 to 48 hours, because once again, the cores are just too far apart. Checking in on the Schumann resonance, all quiet the last 24 to 48 hours. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. Still have some bizarre activity up here at the borehole seismograph along the northwestern edge of the caldera. Everywhere else is pretty quiet. Going to northeast Arkansas, Beulah shared this video of a spectacular fiery orange sunset, and she noticed this big beam in the sky at sunset. This is a crepuscular ray. If there was one in the eastern sky opposing this one, that would be called a anti-crepuscular ray. This happens from time to time when the sun's at a certain angle with respect to the Earth, certain atmospheric conditions, clouds, and even the geography of the Earth can play a role in creating these very cool beams that we see in the sky from time to time. And speaking of the sun, more early twilight. Check this out. People are seeing sunrise, actually twilight, at very early times in the morning. 3:15 in the morning, Manchester, United Kingdom. Paul sent in this photo. This is what the sky looked like at 3:15 in the morning. Are you serious? And this photo was taken today. I just got that a few hours ago. The next segment is a video also of early twilight.
And it's 3:43 in the morning in the North Okanagan of BC, Canada, and it is this bright out, and that's not normal for here. Normally it would be pitch black.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. Usually around 3:30.
So there you go. Two more witnesses up in British Columbia, Canada. 3:43 in the morning. They said that's not typical for their area. They say it's normally pitch black this time of day. Ellen Price up in Okanagan, British Columbia, her and another witness took this video this morning at 3:43 a.m. and you can see over there the sky was blue. So the twilight is definitely showing up earlier at various locations around the world. Last night, people saw a rocket launch in the sky. Apparently, there was another SpaceX SpaceX rocket launch. This photo was sent in by Mary. Last night there was a video taken by Yvonne at 8:45 p.m. out of Tucson, Arizona. We're seeing these things now pretty much on a weekly basis, sometimes multiple times a week. We look up and see these rockets in the sky. This video here was sent in by Martel, and notice how the rocket almost looks like it's going in a downward direction. Isn't that weird? I used to live in the Central Florida area back many years ago, and you could see rocket launches over along the East Coast from Central Florida, and the rockets always went straight up in the air. I don't remember ever seeing a rocket launch from Cape Canaveral that went sideways like this one here. In fact, it almost looks like it's traveling downward. Temecula, California, Ellie, 618. Last night at 8:43 p.m., sent in a couple of photos of the aftermath that the rocket left behind as it went cruising through the nighttime sky. Once again, that was a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launch. And this next segment's of a radar loop taken yesterday morning at 8:35 a.m. by Hope Nathan from Catoosa, Oklahoma. And this is what the radar looked like yesterday morning in the Texas Panhandle. Check out these weird signatures. They almost look like cinnamon rolls in the sky. How about that? I mean, I've seen Doppler radar signatures on the radar before many times, and I don't recall the signatures looking quite like this. Very interesting indeed. Good observation by Hope Nathan out of Catoosa, Oklahoma. And sticking with the sky, I took UV readings today. This is the UVAB at the top, UVC at the bottom. I took the readings at high noon from right out here in Arizona, and the UVAB was pretty much right on the money. This one here might need to be calibrated just a little bit. That was a trace amount, and I mean a very small trace. It's done that before of UVC, so I need to calibrate this one. But the UVAB, as you can see, appeared to be pretty much on the money. The readings I got were a little bit higher than what was being forecasted, 9.7. I got 10.6, but it was still very close. It wasn't like it was in the extreme range. And after I did the UV, I took a temperature reading of the upper atmosphere using a digital thermometer. I've done this many times in the past, and it doesn't matter what time of the year it was. I always got readings in the negative range, whether it be -20, -30, -40, -60. This is one of the first times I've ever gotten readings that were in the positive range. Even though this is still well below zero, it's freezing, it's much higher than I've ever gotten in the past. It's just an observation, guys. I'm simply sharing. I'm going to take measurements tonight after dark and see what those measurements are. But over the years, when I measure the atmosphere like this, I just point the instrument up into the sky and take readings. They're always very cold, well below zero. Once again, in the -30, 40, even 50 range. I think one time I got a -67. So this one's kind of new to me. I'm not used to seeing readings in the positive range. Again, it's still below zero, but much warmer than I normally get. Coming back to the poll questions, I wanted to touch base on the response was overwhelming, had over 7,600 votes, and the question was, have you been noticing anything weird lately? Can't sleep properly, vivid dreams, nothing feels real, just feel off, ears ringing, emotional turmoil, all of the above. And my wife helped me put this together, and here's how the poll turned out. 11% were in the can't sleep properly category, 12% were in just feel off, another 12% ears ringing, headaches, and emotional turmoil at 3%. All of the above, 62%. So more than half of the 7,600 votes were all of the above. And I want to read some of the comments that people posted. Over 1,000 comments were generated by this poll. Guys, I'm just going to scroll through and read a few of the comments. Here's a comment posted by Daniel that I can relate to. He says, I've been waking up at 3 a.m. every morning for the past 3 months, and it doesn't matter what time I go to bed. I still wake up at 3 a.m. I'm the same way. I can go to bed at 9, 10, 11 o'clock. It doesn't matter, and I'll still wake up at 3:15 every night. I can totally relate to what you're saying there. Here's another comment by Jeff Tucker. Loss of time, like the last 10 years are just a blur. They went by so fast. And that's something else that we talked about in a video about how time does indeed feel like it's moving faster. Here's another comment by Billy P. 4338. I've been waking up feeling tired, just kind of off, not really feeling feeling like themselves lately. Here's another comment by Tracy. My ears have been ringing endlessly. Here's another comment by Fox Mama. All of the above. My ears never stop ringing by L. Davis. And I noticed in the comment section there were a lot of people that were talking about the ringing of the ears. So once again, the comment was, have you been noticing anything weird lately? A staggering 62% of 7,600 votes said yes. Thanks for your feedback, guys, and participating. Really do appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.